What's up, everybody? I got an interesting video for you guys today, something that I never thought I'd actually do, but I'm being forced against my will by our good friend Carl of RNG, and that is to do some indie highlights. And this past weekend, I went to BitSummit in Kyoto, Japan, and got to demo as well as catch a glimpse of some games that are either out now or coming out soon in the near future. Probably like 2026 is the time frame that I saw for most of them. And I figured, you know what? There's a lot of great games out there, despite all the nonsense that people might be trying to push that, you know, gaming's dead or there's nothing really fun to play. There are a lot of fun games now, and there will be a lot of fun games in the future. So I'm going to do my service here and promote some games that I think you guys might be interested in. We'll do a quick recap on these games, on what they are, and I'll give my impressions on them, and then we'll wrap up this video. And before we get started, I have to let you guys know that, of course, I'm going to put all the links in the description for the Steam store pages of all these games, so you guys can go check them out yourselves and add them to your wish list. I think you guys will be really surprised by all these games that will be coming out here soon or already out. So we're going to get started here on the first game that I played, known as Sacrifire. It's basically a JRPG inspired game that, you know, uses the JRPG type of mechanics to it as well as the storytelling. But when it comes to the combat, they actually did something kind of unique. And if any of you guys have played the game known as Super Hot, if you move as the character, then the world moves, and if you stop, then the world stops. They applied that kind of mechanic to the combat in this game. You're in this kind of like rectangle arena, and if you run around in the arena, then the enemies will be running around too. As soon as you stop moving, then everything stops, and it gives you a chance to kind of assess the situation. And I thought that was actually kind of a unique battle mechanic for a JRPG type of game. Besides that, what really caught my attention initially was the art style, because it's all like kind of pixel 16-bit style art. Just is a very beautiful looking game. There's a lot of things happening on screen. I think this would be a good game for you guys that are JRPG enthusiasts or just RPG enthusiasts. You might be interested in this game. Now, the next game that I actually was really excited to check out is a game known as Alabastar Dawn, and this is an action RPG. For those of you guys who know me pretty well, I'm a big fan of the Ace series or the Yeast series, depending on how you want to say it. That's an action RPG series. I saw the gameplay for Alabastar Dawn, and I knew right away that I wanted to play this game, and I was able to demo it. And it was a lot of fun to play. It was actually probably one of the most well-polished games that I played at the convention. There was no like real issues with it or like bugs or anything. The controls were very responsive. They did exactly what I needed them to do. But yeah, besides that, the game is really interesting. So you're running around in this action RPG style gameplay with pixel art, of course. And there is going to be a very kind of like deep leveling up system, as well as like, you know, upgrading your weapons and your armor and you know, exploration as well. What was really interesting too is the character model is actually a 3D model, but it uses 2D pixel art, and that's where if you look at the animation for this game, it looks really crisp, and that is kind of like the trick behind it. So besides that, the music was fantastic. I really enjoyed the music for that action RPG, because I think when it comes to JRPGs, but even action RPGs, it needs to have some really good music, and it matched the setting and the tone of that game. So this is a game that I think you guys will really enjoy. Action RPGs are really simple games. They're really fun to play. I look forward to hopefully streaming this game, because I definitely will want to stream this game for a bit. For the next game that I was able to play, I'm not sure I really pronounce this game, but we're going to go with Yareta. And Yareta is this really interesting 3D open world adventure puzzle game. I should say puzzles are a very important part, because you're basically running around in this big open world, and you're on an expedition journey of some sort with a bunch of people, and you need to go around and kind of solve puzzles to unlock your way through the world and explore it, of course. I guess like one of the big things about this is that the puzzles can be solved different ways. I wasn't really able to see that, but it was really interesting just running around and I guess solving these 3D puzzles. Like that's in a big open world. Normally you do that in kind of some smaller environments, but being able to do in this bigger world was pretty cool. Once again, the art style kind of attracted me. I do like this kind of cel-shaded look to it. I thought it was a really well designed looking game for the most part. So I'm not sure when this game is coming out, but I think it'll be a very interesting game to play in the future. If you guys like open world games mixed with like some puzzle mechanics for solving, you know, puzzles, think of like Tomb Raider type puzzles, if that makes sense, or Uncharted, like those type of puzzles for exploration. I think you might like this game. Now, the next game was one that was recommended by Big Jono Gaming over at the Gronkin Squad. This one's called Steel Knights ARMIS. and it's actually a mecha roguelite game. And this game was really interesting. So coming from me, I'm not a big like roguelite fan. I don't really care to play that genre of game. But for big genre there, I wanted to give it a shot. And I actually had a lot of fun playing this game. Everything is kind of like on autopilot. So the shooting's on autopilot, the melee's on autopilot, and all you're doing is kind of fly around up in the sky in this like beautiful environment. And you're just letting your mech do all the work. And it was actually kind of relaxing, just, you know, moving around and shooting the enemy, slicing them down, and then getting upgrades and you know, trying to find the best way to upgrade your mech as you progress through the chapter, the mission. And yeah, it was actually pretty fun. I'm definitely gonna have to pick up this game when it comes out. It was made in Unreal Engine, so it looked really good for an Unreal Engine game, of course. The mechs look really sick. In my opinion, they have a nice cross between Gundam as well as a little bit of Halo influence that I saw with some of the mechs, kind of like military sci-fi mechs, not really like the Japanese sci-fi mechs. So I thought that was pretty cool to see that. Besides that, the game ran really well with everything that was happening on screen, with all the laser and the enemies and stuff. It ran smooth. I saw no frame drops or nothing for like a demo, I guess you can say. That was pretty cool. I look forward to playing it. I think you guys might like it too if you're into the roguelite type style games. An interesting game that I saw from like the big poster and the big kind of like banner that was in this one corner of the convention was two games actually. This first one was Bahamut and the WaqWaq tree, and this game's actually already out. And this game is basically, if you think of the game Abzu, if you've ever played that game, which is made by the same people that did Journey, as well as the one that's called Sword of the Seas coming out. They made a game called Abzu, and that's basically this underwater exploration game. It's very beautiful looking and whatnot. Bahamut and the WaqWaq tree basically is a 2D version of that game. So the swimming is very fluid. There's no combat to it. You're kind of like solving puzzles with this like light ability that you have. It has full voice acting, which I don't really care for so much, but the gameplay itself was really fun and really relaxing. I could see myself kind of just calming down for the night and playing a game like that. So I really enjoyed what I played, and I think this will be a good one to kind of pick up when it's on sale. Hopefully, if they ever release a physical version, I definitely want to pick up a physical copy of this. Now, the next game that actually really caught my eye that was next to the last game, this one is called BloodBreaker, Labyrinth of the Witch. And the reason why this caught my eye was for two specific reasons. One, it looks like something like Castlevania, and two, it has a cute anime lady on the cover of it, or like the promotion of it. So you got two best of both worlds right there, and I had to give it a shot. And it was all right for a Castlevania, like a modern 3D Castlevania, 2D side-scrolling, but like 3D assets type of Castlevania game. But I think it definitely can use a lot of work. I think it's still like being developed, so that's why it doesn't really have like a set release date anytime soon. But I'm looking forward to seeing what it's gonna be. I was looking at the Steam page, and apparently it's a Roguevania. I'm assuming it combines elements of roguelike as well as Castlevania, so that will be an interesting combo to try out. But I liked it. I liked the flashiness of it. I liked the difficulty of it as well, and I think this will be a fun game when it finally releases. Now, this next game had me really excited because I've been looking for a game that I can play with my wife that is like a co-op game, like a fun puzzle type of game, and this is the one that basically answers my prayers here. And this one is known as Chippy and Noppo. And what's interesting about this game, and the reason why it caught my eye initially, was once again, this game reminds me of a different indie game that I've played before on the Nintendo Switch known as Good Job. And if you own a Nintendo Switch and you're looking for a great indie game that you can actually play by yourself, Good Job on a Nintendo Switch is fantastic. It's definitely a hidden gem for me. But yeah, back to Chippy and Noppo. Basically, you're controlling two different characters in this like 3D kind of like factory environment, and you need to build these like 3D models with like specific blocks and whatnot. And I was watching kids play it, and they seemed to be figuring out and having a fun time with it. I was watching adults play it as well, and I knew right away, like, okay, this is a game that actually I can play with my wife. It's not too complicated for her, and she can be able to like figure things out with me, and we could probably laugh and yell at each other for making mistakes because it's kind of a cooperative game. You have to kind of work together to solve puzzles to build these 3D models. So the art style is obviously cutesy and very like cartoony, and it looks just like a lot of fun. So I don't know if it has an online mode to it. I do know this game is already out and it's on sale right now for like the remainder of July. So if you get a chance, definitely I would pick this up. I'm gonna pick it up right away, and this would be a lot of fun to play with two people. Definitely check out Chippy and Noppo. Now, another really interesting puzzle game that I didn't think I was going to really enjoy is called Electrogical. And this game, you better be good at math because you basically got to use your math skills in order to get through this game. So the premise of this is you got to power up like this facility and you need to get electricity from one node to the next. And in between there's these like puzzle pieces you need to connect, and the puzzle pieces have like integer values to them, and you need to make sure that you match the number that is at the end of the node and with the correct pieces so that you power it up with the correct power, I guess you can say. And it was actually a really fun puzzle game to play. I like the simplicity of the graphics and the simplicity of the game itself. Like, you're just clicking and dropping and that's really it. This is probably only going to be a PC game because of that, but it is still really, really cool. I highly recommend, if you're really into puzzle games, this is definitely a game you will enjoy, especially if you want to test out your math skills a bit. So definitely wishlist this game, and let me know in the comments what you think about this particular game. Alright, the final game that I thought was really interesting, and this kind of happened on accident how I found this game, and this is known as Pizza Bandit. Now, while I was at the con, I was looking around just trying to soak in all the different displays that they had before I wanted to start demoing games. I was actually kind of pulled in by one of the guys running the booth for this game, wanted me to try it out. And this game was actually a lot of fun, even though I played it by myself. And this game is supposed to be a 4-player, or let's just say 2-player on a cooperative game, where you need to basically defend a location from these like alien zombies that are attacking you, and at the same time you need to do like some cooking related tasks with like some really good graphics and environments. And it was really interesting playing this game. I was not expecting to really enjoy this game, and I knew right away as soon as I started playing this game that this would be a perfect game for none other than the company boys, that they would definitely have a huge blast playing this game. So I look forward to seeing them hopefully playing this and streaming it in the future, and I look forward to playing it as well. Highly recommend this game for those who are looking for something fun and silly to play that involves guns and of course like cooking. So definitely a pretty cool game. So yeah, that'll do it for my recommendations for some indie titles that I was able to catch an eye on and get my hands on as well. I hope you guys thought this video was informative. Hopefully you'll be able to let me know if there's anything I can improve about it, and let me know if you guys are going to pick up any of these indie titles. Don't forget, there are definitely great games out there for you to play. You just got to find them, and hopefully this video helps you find a few of these games. So if you like what you saw, leave a like and leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.